My name is Kloksa. I am a senior here at Devlin High School, and I have been attending Devlin since I was around 7th grade, and that's kind of when things started up with my life with Christ. I was born into a church completely dedicated, and I never really was taught what it meant to live a life for Christ until one day my dad was driving me home from somewhere, and he started talking about living a life for Jesus and dedicating your heart to Him, and I had never heard that before. And he told me that you had to tell God that you just had to give Him your heart. And I thought that was a completely new concept, but I did it because I was really afraid of going to hell. So there's one little detail. From there on, I continued my walk with Christ in my middle school group, which was great, except for I started struggling with depression and anxiety to the point where I had a lot of suicidal moments where I just didn't want to be there anymore, or I couldn't be close to anything that would be detrimental to my health. And Christ really got me through that funk because He was there when no one else was, and I felt like He understood me fully, and I know He still does to this day, so that's great. So going on through that, I went into high school, and that's when a bunch of transitions happened within my church. A bunch of leaders left, and new ones come in, and everything was pretty much caught off guard for me. I was actually chosen to become the student leader of my church, which was a great opportunity. This opportunity, though, had its downfalls when one of the head leaders was he was fired, and no one really knew what was happening, and my other youth group leader was really tempted to just close our youth group and make it non-existent because he felt like no one else would come after that. And to be honest, I was falling into that idea too. And well, that night I started praying about it. I was crying. I couldn't handle it anymore. I felt like the youth group was on my shoulders, and God just said, don't let this one thing ruin a youth group and ruin something that's made for me. And automatically I called my youth group leader. I was like, hey, we need to get this figured out because this is for Christ, and we're not going to let one detail in our lives ruin this exemplifying institution just for Christ. And so we made up a bunch of plans and a bunch of ideas. We were very spirit-filled. It was great. And our youth group grew like crazy, which we weren't even expecting because we were expecting to be like 0. So it started growing, and to this day it is still growing, and it's beautiful. However, I was unable to continue my student leadership at that church because of a new transition with the new youth group leader who wasn't comfortable with that. So I eventually became unmotivated to become coming to church, and really was falling in my walk with Christ. And that's when my brother started recommending Red Rocks Church to me. And since I wasn't really getting along with the high schoolers in my church or school, like I wasn't connecting with them, my brother recommended I go to the young adults group at Red Rocks, and that's where I am now. And so far God has shown me amazing things, and I am so excited to build relationships and be able to connect with the youth group there and connect with Christ more. Thanks.